failure is not falling down, but refusing to get up. Hope you heard about Vakthong Akobats. He's a Georgian armed wrestler, severely affected with Parkinson's. When his opponent makes fun of his disability in the arm wrestling finals, he just praised God and begins his battle. On the other hand, his opponent's overconfidence causes his opponent to lose. Akobats tried his best to win, but even after winning, he remains respectful of the opponent and the game. On the contrary, his opponent expressed anger at his defeat, and Akobats proves that if you have faith in God and if you believe in yourself, you can win any battle even with disabilities. My dear friends, look at his resilience, strength, and the determination that led him to this unforgettable victory. A lot of people today pretend to be perfectly alright and hide their disability or make fun of someone who has a severe disability. Look at his attitude, even when underestimated by his opponent, overcomes the obstacles and reaches his dreams. My dear friends, disabilities don't matter. It's what in your mind and what in your heart that gives you strength. Your conviction is what gives you the determination. We easily get frustrated, easily get disappointed, depressed, and give up on things. Last week, I read in the newspapers about the death of a 7-year-old boy. His parents could not accept the death of their child. So, both his parents committed suicide, leaving a note, "We cannot imagine a life without our child." See? It's only been 6 months since the marriage. The husband and wife had a very happy married life. But then the girl seemed to have had a few disputes on her mother-in-law. So she left a voice note on her decision and committed suicide. A boy studying 9th standard in America was a little chubby. So his friends bullied, made fun of him. He could not tolerate it anymore and therefore committed suicide. A boy who can study well failed the exam. He could not face the failure of exam and therefore committed suicide. A few children are really studying well. They also get into good jobs and earn well, but then don't really know how to live life. As soon as problem arises, they give it up. Can't deal with problems anymore and decide to end their lives. No problem solving ability. My dear friends, I know someone who had a terrible debt. All the lenders started pressurizing him by asking him to return the loan. He didn't know what to do. He tried his best, couldn't do anything about it, fell sick and passed away now. Similarly, each of us are facing problems every day. Sometimes we get discouraged, not being able to deal with such problems. We see some people talking in frustration. If we live, we should really live well. Otherwise, we should not live at all. You see the attitude of people? You know what we think when we face challenges in life? That's all. I've lost. It's all over. Everything is gone. I could do nothing about it. I'm a failure and a useless creature. My dear friends, everyone fails in life somewhere or the other. We have flaws, weaknesses, and areas that require great improvement and change in our lives. We should have this attitude deep within us. I am not the strongest, but I will achieve it. I'm not the fastest, but I will chase it. I'm not the smartest, but I will work it out. I'm not the most talented, but I will become obsessed. Life is very similar to a boxing ring. Listen to me carefully. defeat is not declared when you fall down. It's declared only when you refuse to rise up. You fall down. The umpire starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get up, it's not a failure. When he starts counting, if you refuse to get up, then it is considered to be a failure. You know what is the problem? As soon as you fall, you think that's all, life is over, game is over. It's not when you fall, you fail. Only when you refuse to get up, you fail. My dear friends, the greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Rise above your doubts, rise above your fears. Your fears will appear smaller and smaller as you rise above them. Rise up and be the best you can, because your world is waiting for you. Keep this in mind. Some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who had the most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, her first book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Michael Jordan was cut from high school basketball team. He lost hundreds of games and missed thousands of shots during his career. But he once said, "I have failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Steve Jobs, co-founder and CEO of Apple Incorporated, was suddenly fired from the company he co-founded himself. He was left alone with depression and heartbroken at the age of 30. He again joined Apple later, and it became the first $1 trillion company in 2018. Eminem, one of the best-selling artists of the 21st century, had a disturbing poverty-struck childhood marked with abuse, dropped out of high school, and made several unsuccessful suicide attempts. Albert Einstein, the most influential physicist from the 20th century and a Nobel Prize winner, was considered a terrible student with a very bad academic performance. His teachers never took him seriously and thought he would never achieve much. He could not speak fluently till the age of 9. Lionel Messi, considered as one of the best football players of all time, at the age of 10, he was diagnosed with growth deficiency hormone, which threatened his career as a football professional. At 11, he was removed from his team due to his small stature than others of this age. Oprah Winfrey, dubbed as Queen of all media, the richest African American of the 20th century, from the age of 9 to 13, she was raped by her cousin brother, by her uncle, and a family friend. She ran away from her home at 14, and her first child was born premature and died. Jack Ma, founder of China's largest e-commerce and richest man in China, is Alibaba. You know, rejection was the only thing he experienced in his early life, but he refused to give up. He said that he applied for Harvard but 10 times rejected. When KFC came to China, he says 24 people went for the job, 23 accepted, and 1 was rejected, and that was him. Sanders, founder of one of the biggest food empires in the world, KFC, after his retirement at the age of 63, all he received from the government was a check of $105. He decided to cook, but his chicken recipe was rejected 1,009 times by the restaurants. These people succeeded because they understood that you can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you what to do differently the next time. God is giving you a golden opportunity to rise up. Come on, my dear friends. Do not let guilt, worry, condemnation break your life. Look on to Jesus. He is our Savior. He will never let us down. God says in Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. St. Paul says in Philippians chapter 4 verse 13, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Even in Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 we read, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. My dear friends, the world doesn't remember the fall. It remembers the comeback. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless, refusing to give up and pushing forward no matter how hard the hit. So when life knocks you down, stand tall and rise again with the help of God who strengthens us, because that is where your greatest glory lies.